In our last conversation, we talked about why 90-day goals outperform annual resolutions. But there's a piece of the puzzle we haven't addressed yet, and it's the reason most goals fail even when they're set up correctly. It's not your goal-setting framework. It's not your motivation. It's not even your plan. It's the accountability gap. And most people don't even realize it exists.
Today, we're going to show you the difference between tracking your progress and true accountability, and why one builds successful businesses while the other just builds pretty spreadsheets.
Let's start with what most people believe accountability means. Tracking. You've got the apps, the spreadsheets, the habit trackers. You check boxes, update progress bars, and monitor your metrics. And you think that is accountability.
But research from Dr. Gail Matthews at Dominican University reveals something fascinating. In her study of 267 participants, people who simply wrote down their goals were 42% more likely to achieve than those who didn't. That's amazing. But here's the kicker. People who shared their goals with a friend and sent weekly updates were 76% more likely to achieve them. That's not tracking, that's social accountability, and the difference in success rates is staggering.
The tracking illusion makes us feel productive. We're monitoring, we're measuring, we're being accountable to ourselves. But self-accountability has a fatal flaw. You can always negotiate with yourself. I'll start on Monday. I'll make up for it next week. This isn't the right time anyway. You would never accept those excuses from someone else, but you accept them all the time from yourself.
The research on social accountability is overwhelming. A study published in the Journal of Consulting and Clinical Psychology found that people with accountability partners achieved 95% of their goals, and that's compared to 43% of those going it alone. But why does this work so well?
Dr. Robert Cialdini's research on commitment and consistency shows that humans have a deep psychological need to appear consistent to others. When you make a commitment publicly, your brain treats breaking it as a threat to your entire identity. There's also what psychologists call implementation intention research by Dr. Peter Gollwitzer. When you tell someone, I will do X at time Y at place Z, they are expecting an update. Your follow-through rate increases by 91%. But here's what most people miss. Not all social accountability is created equal. Telling your spouse you're going to launch a course doesn't create the same psychological pressure as telling a room full of business owners who understand what launching actually is.
The quality of your accountability matters as much as the existence of it. Now, for type A women, accountability gets complicated because we think we are so good at it. If you're an over-planner, you've built elaborate tracking systems that feel like accountability. But what you're really doing is avoiding the vulnerability of letting someone else see your progress or lack thereof. You'd rather perfect your system in private than risk judgment.
If you're a hustler, you think accountability is unnecessary because you're already always in motion. But without external checkpoints, you're just sprinting in whatever direction feels urgent. You need someone to ask you, is this actually moving you towards your goal?
And if you're an avoider, accountability feels threatening because it means you can't hide when you're not following through. But that's exactly why you need it most, to break the cycle of good intentions without actions. The research from Dr. Sean Young at UCLA shows the most successful behavior change happens when accountability is both supportive and challenging. Too soft and there's no pressure to perform. Too hard and people disengage entirely.
Type A women need accountability that matches their intelligence and ambition. Not cheerleading, but strategic pressure. So what does effective accountability actually look like? First, it's consistent. Research from MIT shows that irregular check-ins lose their effectiveness very quickly. Your brain needs to know that someone is paying attention on a predictable schedule.
Second, it's specific. Vague updates like, I'm working on it, don't trigger the psychological mechanisms that drive follow-through. Real accountability asks, what exactly did you do? What are the results? And what's next?
Third, it's peer-based. Studies show that accountability to peers who share similar goals is more effective than accountability to mentors or coaches. There's something powerful about people who are in your same arena holding you to your commitments.
This is why masterminds and structured communities consistently outperform solo efforts. The American Society of Training and Development found that people have a 65% chance of completing a goal if they commit to someone else. But when they have ongoing accountability appointments with that person, their success rates jump to 95%. And that's the kind of accountability we've built into the Type A circle. Weekly check-ins where you can't hide behind busyness or excuses, peer accountability from other driven women who understand what real progress looks like, and strategic pressure that pushes you forward without burning you out. Because tracking your goals is not the same as achieving them.
Here's what this means for you practically. If you're serious about achieving your 90-day goals, you need more than a tracking system.
You need humans who are invested in your success and willing to call you out when you're making excuses.
You need consistent check-ins that create psychological pressure to follow through.
You need peers who understand the level you're playing at and won't accept mediocrity.
And you need structure that supports your goal achievement, not just your goal setting.
The research is clear. Accountability isn't optional for goal achievement. It's the difference between 43% success and 95% success. If you want to figure out which Type A pattern is affecting your relationship with accountability and how to build the right support system around your goals, take our Type A quiz linked below.
Because the framework is just the beginning. The accountability is what makes it work. And in Type A Circle, that's exactly what we provide. The structured, peer-based accountability that turns your 90-day goals from plans to results.